Hey guys, what's going on? Max here for slurf.com to talk about GPP stacks for today's May 12th slate. Not a bad day for us yesterday, just needed a little bit more Red Sox in the nightcap, and we could have had a great day here. But I decided to kind of limit my exposure to them due to the fact that they were going to be really highly owned, which was not the best strategy yesterday. But on to today's slate, we have 8 games at night, so let's jump right in. So let's get to pitching first. The top option of the night is Clayton Kershaw. I feel like it's been forever since we had a chance to roster the guy somehow. He was never on a slate that I was playing, but not sure why we wouldn't play him today. The only reason not to play him is that you won't be able to get as many good hitters into your lineup, but I think we can find some value here on today's slate like we usually do, so I don't think that's too much of a problem for us. Anyway, I don't know if I need to give you any pertinent statistical information, but Kershaw is really good. The Mets are not nearly as good against left-handers as they are against righties, so I expect them to have a great game here. My second favorite pitcher is Vincent Velasquez facing the Braves. The Braves beat up on Eichhoff a little bit yesterday, but due to their lineup being full of left-handers, we were able to get off of him. And if you were in the Slurf chat room yesterday, you would have been able to get off of him also. Anyway, back in Velasquez, the only blemish against him is a little bit of an elevated 7% walk rate, but I'm not too concerned with these Braves hitters. They don't really walk too much, they strike out a ton. So I'm going to roster him at will tonight. The next thing I want to talk about is David Price. He's pitching at home versus a powerful right-handed hitting lineup in Houston with the Green Monster behind him, looming behind him very closely. So as I'm a big Yankee fan, I watched his last 2 starts against the Yankees, and he got smacked around by not very imposing Yankee lineups. Honestly, the way it looked like to me is just he was throwing everything down the middle of the plate and getting way too much of the plate. His BABIP is kind of reflecting that. It's 70 points higher than his career BABIP. And although we look for that kind of stuff normally to normalize, it is backed up a little bit by the 40% hard contact rate that he's giving up so far this year. So I don't know if this is going to normalize today or not, but he's a little bit scary against Houston. Although I do think his ownership will be down at his price, so he could be a contrarian option here. On the other side of the ball, we have another solid arm in Keuchel. He's extremely priced down today due to his DraftKings dynamic pricing, seeing that he's up against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. The Red Sox have scored 13 or more runs in their last 3 games, so they are hot. There are some positives against Keuchel here. He's cheap. He's a ground ball pitcher, which is something we like at Fenway. And the Red Sox are middle of the road against left-handers while they absolutely destroy right-handed pitching. I don't think this is quite as much of a trap as Admiral Akbar told us it was with Sonny Gray a couple days ago. But I do think Keuchel will be in a contrarian spot here, so I think he's somebody we can definitely look to at his cheap price tag. There are 3 more spots I like today. First one is Kennedy against the Yankees. Yankees are a bit scary at home, and we have stacked them up in the last 3 games. I think today's a little bit different because Yankees lineups are full of left-handers, and Kennedy is actually really good against left-handers. He's a reverse splits guy and owns a 2.46 WOBA against lefties so far this season, which is pretty good. I don't think many guys will go here because not everybody looks at splits, and reverse splits guys are usually under-owned, so I think he's a nice contrarian option. The second guy I want to delve deeper into is slipping Jimmy Nelson. He's facing the Padres offense at home that just played a doubleheader and had to travel afterwards. So that's a positive in his favor. Padres have also struggled against right-handers all year. So the only problem with him here is that I do expect him to be highly owned with everybody just picking on Padres at will lately. I don't know if yesterday is going to make people jump off of that or not, but so far I do expect them to be pretty highly owned here. Um, Next guy we want to talk about is also the last guy, and I think he's a very sneaky option tomorrow or today. Ubaldo Jimenez is playing against Detroit. I don't know. I don't think he's going to carry too much ownership here, and the Tigers just struck out 20 times against Scherzer, so they might be a little bit upset about that. But I do suggest we give him a look here. He's only given up a 3.13 WOBA and striking out a batter inning against right-handers. He really struggles against left-handers, and other than ghosts, the Tigers just don't have any. So I think he's cheap and could be a nice sneaky option here. Anyway, onto the stacks. The easiest one of the day are the Orioles against Pelfrey, who's just really bad right now, and I don't think he's going to be sticking around in the majors too much longer, so we should pick on him while we can. They're going to be one of the highest owned stacks of the day, and they're also really expensive. So I don't know if you could do Kershaw, another nice pitcher, and the Orioles, but I think we can look to the lower priced Orioles at the end of the batting order here, who are also going to be lower owned as a nice upside contrarian-ish stack. Next, I want to talk about the Cardinals against Weaver. Somehow Weaver didn't get destroyed in his last start against Tampa Bay, but he was on the brink quite a few times and just was able to sneak his way out of it. Tampa is also really not that great against righties. St. Louis is. So I am looking for really good upside and maybe a couple dongs from the Cardinals here. I like the middle of the order guys in Moss and Adams. I think they have really good power. And let's also not forget about Carpenter here. He has flashed double dong upside this year so far. Here I think we kind of have a couple chalky stacks and somewhere we can go off the board. I think ownership will be spread around between the Red Sox and Tigers here. I think people will look at the Tigers total and want to jump on them, and they're going to look at Red Sox box scores and want to jump on them. I think here instead we should go to Arizona and target the Diamondbacks-Giants game. Both of these pitchers are good pitchers, but Arizona Park ball just flies here. And I think we can target lefties on both offenses here with some success and kind of mini stack them with our other stacks. And they will be pretty low owned in my opinion. Let's talk about the Astros. I think we should mention them. I don't think they're going to be too contrarian against Price, as people will see that he has been struggling recently. But I do think they have upside at Fenway. You can target the normal, right-handed power bats that they have here. Last but not least, Shields is not bad against right-handers in his career, and his walk rate is up against swing-happy Milwaukee. So I don't know if there's a lot of upside in Milwaukee bats here, but I do think that in their ballpark we can definitely target them for some home run power. We can also, I think, mini stack the Padres if we think Jimmy's ownership is going to be too high, kind of like what we did with Hendricks yesterday. That's about it for me, guys. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up at DFS Max on Twitter or jump in the Slurf chat room. We're going to be discussing things there as usual throughout the day and especially before lock. All right, good luck in your games, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.